Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. Now we will begin with the part 2, the writing part for the grade 10 elite. The 16th question is from lessons 1.6 and lesson 1.7. It's to solve system of linear equations from Cramer's rule and to find inverse of matrices. There are plenty of problems in this. Before we begin, let's know what exactly is Cramer's rule. Now, Cramer's rule is a very effective method to solve for the system of equations using matrices. Now, I'm sure if you're looking at, say system of equations, there are various other methods, the easy methods, calculator methods and stuff to solve it. But since over here it's in writing, let's stick to the Cramer's rule itself. Now look here, this is a equation. It can be say 3x plus 2y equals 5, and then we have one more equation minus 2x plus 3y equals 7, some random equations. Now here the coefficient matrix would be all the coefficients of x and y, so you need to write that. It'll be 3, 2, minus 2 and 3, and the resultant matrix, this over here, we will write it as 5 and 7. So this is very important. Call it M and N. It can be given other terms as well. Now whatever is the right side of the equal to, write it over here, and the coefficients are written over here. Now Cramer's rule states that if you want to say find the value of x, then this is not equal to, these are matrices, we can't put that equal to. But what we need to do is, if at all you want to find the value of x, you need to replace this matrix with the results 5 and 7, and the remaining 2 and 3 remains the same. We are just dealing with x now, right? So these two change. And what are we doing is we are finding the determinant of that and divided by the determinant of coefficient matrix. In the sense, it's 3 minus 2, 2, 3. So you replace the x values, because you want to find the x values, with whatever is in the right side of equal to, and divided by the determinant of the coefficients. So how do you find determinant? Now determinant is basically found out like this. You have to draw a cross line like this from left to right and then from right to left. So multiply these two. It is 3 times 3, that is 9, minus, what is this, 2 times minus 2 will be negative 4. And the answer over here is 9 plus 4, that is 13. That's the denominator, that is, say over here, that is the determinant of coefficient matrix, and we can write it as 13 here. And what happens above? Same thing, but the values are a bit different. It will be over here 15. 5 times 3 is 15, minus 7 times 2 is 14, so you're remaining with 1, so it's 1 by 13. That is the answer for x. So you don't get two values, it's just a single answer, that is the x value. Now same way you can find y value. All you need to do is, for the same matrix, instead of 2 and 3 you replace by these values and do the same thing. That is basically Cramer's rule, and that is how we can find the x and y values using matrices or by using Cramer's rule. Now here we have to solve two system of equations. I'll just walk through it, or let me solve this in detail for this one problem, and then we will, whenever we have such problems, the same method is used. So here the first coefficient matrix would be 5, whatever are the coefficients, 3, minus 6 and 4, that is equal to, what are the results over here? It's 15 and minus 29. So it'll be very helpful if you find the determinant of this. So the determinant of that would be, let me call this as C. Determinant means two straight lines. You just, this is matrix, right? If you just draw two straight lines, that would be finding determinant. Here it is 5 times 4 and then minus, okay, minus is there, minus sign is very important. 5 times 4 minus 6 times 3. So here the answer would be 20 minus and minus again, so plus 18. The answer is 38. So that is what? That is the coefficient 38. Now in order to find x, you need to swap these or replace these values by 15 and 29. So it will be 15 minus 29 minus 6, 4. So in order to find x value, you need to find the determinant of this divided by the determinant which we already found out. And now what's the answer? 15 times 4 is 60 minus, and again this minus minus it becomes plus, but this minus remains. 29 times 6, it'll be 30 times 6 is 180 minus 6, it'll be 174 divided by 38. Solve this up, you will have 60, if you deduct, it'll be 114 divided by 38. Now this is 1 time, 2 time, 3 times, so but it's minus, so it's minus 3. So the x value is minus 3. Now same way to find the y value, all you need to do is see the given coefficient matrix, right? Let's write x values, but since we have to find y, just replace the y values by this 15 and minus 29, and then you solve it divided by 38. You need to find the determinant over here, and that is how we can easily solve for the answer for y. So you can see here x value was minus 3, this is what we got. Now what about the y value? Same way you can do it over here and you'll get minus 5. So the x and y values are negative 3 and negative 5. So this is by Cramer's rule. There are calculator methods and everything, but for now, since it's writing, I will just stick to all writing methods, no shortcuts. But when I do the MCQ part, that is the first 15 questions, if you come across any matrices or Cramer's rule or anything, I'll tell you shortcut methods, calculator methods. Now over here there's another problem. Oh no, it's the same one. It's just check. So once you get the answers, if you put it back into the equation, both the sides must be equal. That is how we can check it. So this is one way. Now over here we have a real world problem. Donuts. Karen is ordering donuts for a class party. The box contains 2 dozen donuts. 2 dozen means 40. 1 dozen is 12. 2 dozen is 24. Some of which are plain and some of which are jelly filled. Okay, the plain donuts cost $0.5, whereas jelly filled cost 60 fills of $0.6. If the total cost is $12.6, use Cramer's rule to find how many jelly filled donuts Karen ordered. Now here the most important thing is writing the equations. See, one equation is clearly visible, that is 0.5, 0.6 and over here. But before that, I usually like to write the first equation, that is x and y. So what is x and what is y? I will take x as plain donuts and jelly filled as y. So x plus y is how much? It's 2 dozen, that is 12 times 2, it's 24. And then what else? The cost of x is 0.5x plus 0.6y is equal to how much? 12.6. Now let's analyze this. I'll just explain what exactly this means. See, now first of all, you do not know how many plain donuts are there. You do not know how many jelly filled are there. It can be random. Now here, though we do not know exactly how many are there, we just know the total number. It can be 3, 4, 5 for x and the other can be y. But we have no idea. But we know that each of them costs 0.5 and 0.6 respectively for plain and jelly filled. And the total cost is 12.6. Though we do not know how many actually donuts are there, since we know these values and the total cost was so much, and we have one more equation, at least 2 equations are required. I mean, for 2 variables, 2 equations are required. You can solve what is the actually number. From this, you can solve how many x, that is the plain donuts, and how many y, that is jelly filled. How do we do it? System of equations. Now we use the Cramer's rule. Over here, what is the coefficients? It's 1, 1, 0.5, 0.6, and then what do we have? 24 and 12.6. Find the determinant, swap these x values by 24 and 13.6 and so on. Now over here you don't need to do for x and y. You just need jelly filled, right? Jelly filled is y. So all you need to do is 1, 24, 0 0.5, 12.6. That's it. Divided by the coefficient, the determinant of the coefficient matrix. That'd be 0 0.6 minus 0 0.5, it's 0 0.1. So divided by 0 0.1, over here you need to find the determinant and easily solve it up. So we will directly jump to the answer. See over here, these are the equations. X plus y is 24 and 0.5x plus 0.6y is 12.6. And then you can easily write the coefficient matrix. And what is the other matrix? You consider it B or anything. So that was 24 and 12.6. So you can easily find the determinant of A, and then to find, this is to find X, but we do not need to do it. You can do that. And okay, this is very important. Y. Now this is determinant, then you substitute over here and find the Y value. So how many jelly filled are they? It is 6. And plain weight 18. So the answer is 6. Over here, another similar problem, I believe. The salary for each of the stars of a new movie is 5 million. So here the cost is told 5 million for the stars. So let's take the stars, the main actor in a movie, the main actor, the lead role players, they're the stars. They charge 5 million, they get paid. And the supporting roles, right? Supporting actors, they get 1 million. So this is the thing. Now here, the total cost is how much? The salaries paid for the actors and actresses for supporting and the main stars is 19 millions. Okay, this is all in terms of millions. So what else do we know? If the cast has how many? 7 members. 7 over here. X plus Y. I don't know how many X and Y, but if you add them, there are 7. So 5 millions for the lead players and 1 for the supporting characters. So now all you need to do is solve these. Just now we did, right? Cramer's rule, write the coefficients 1, 1, 5, 1. And then over here 7 and 19. See, these are the two equations. And then over here write the coefficient matrix. See, 1, 1, 5, 1, 7 and 19. And then you need to swap. Instead of 1 and 5, write 7 and 19. And then you find how many actors are there. There are 3. And did they ask us to find anything else? No. As you can see over here, they have asked, use Cramer's rule to find the number of stars in the movie. That's it. So only X is enough. If you find X, that's the answer. There are only 3 stars and the remaining is played by the supporting. Here we have to use determinants again. Refer to this particular example. Let's read it. A zoologist tagged a tiger with a GPS tracker so that he could determine the tiger's territory. After several days, the tiger's territory was triangular region. By using the coordinate of the vertices of the triangle, he uses matrices to determine the size of the tiger's territory. Okay, now you can see the coordinates are given. You need to find the area. Now with determinants, basically there is an easy formula to find the area. That is, area, as long as you know all the 3 coordinates, can be found out by, here you need to find the determinant. It's a straight line. Imagine this is x1 y1, x2 y2 and x3 y3. So all you need to do is x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3 and write 1 1 1. Find the determinant of this, and that is the area. Now here you can choose anything as x1 y1. It's your choice. You can choose this as x1 y1, this as x2 y2. Your answer will be the same. So this is the formula. We it's written as AB, but it's understood. It's one coordinate point, another coordinate point, and the other coordinate point. And here, see, they have given the coordinates, right? So 0 0 and 1. What is this? 4 12 and 1 and minus 2 and 8. And now you find the determinant. Now I will tell you another rule over here, how we can find determinants of 3 cross 3 matrices. It takes a long time to do it naturally, like how we do that cross thing. It takes a very, very long time. So this is the easiest of all methods. Obviously, there is the calculator method, but otherwise, this is a very easy method. So you need to write the determinant. So what was the determinant? Oh, yeah, it's 0, 0, 1. Then we have 4, 12, 1, and minus 2, 8, 1. So this is the determinant, right? You can't do it in just 3. You need to add 2. Why? Because you need to start from the leftmost. See, it's always like this and like this, right? From left to right. So draw a line from left to right. I'll draw in blue, this one. But since it's 3 cross 3, you need to draw these lines 3 times, like this and like this. Now let's see what would be over here. Now 1, 2, 3 is over. Then repeat this particular matrix back over here. It will be 0, 4, and minus 2. And then next one, it's 0, 12, and 8. Now this much is enough. Over here they have done extra, not required. Now this is one part, that's the left side. See, this left line is done. Now what is the right line? That is, you can either start from here or you can start from the last point. Okay, this one. Or what I do is I draw like this and then I just draw like this. 1, 2, 3. So now let us write. I'll write this at the right side, which we just now did. Okay, it is basically from right to left. Okay, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. And that is, now how do you calculate them is multiply all in one row. So that will be 1 times 12 times minus 2. So it will be minus 24. Then you need to add it up with this. 8 times 1 times 0 is 0. And what happens over here? It's again 0. Why? Because 1, 0, multiply all of them, it's all 0. Then what about the left side? First, initially, it's 0, 0. So 0 plus 0. And over here we have 8 times 4 is 32. Times 1 is 32 itself plus 32. This minus the entire other thing. So what generally is done is they do it individually. So over here we got 32 and over here it's minus 24. Now subtract it off. It'll be 32 plus 24, that is 56. Now this 56 is not the area, it is the determinant value. But what was the actual formula? It is, I hope I have written this, it's half times, okay, that x1, y1, x2, y2 with 1, 1, 1. It's half times. So 56 is nearly there, but half times 56, that would be 28. So 28 meters squared must be the area. Let's quickly check the answer. Yes, it's 28. Since it was in kilometers mentioned in the question, it's square kilometers. So that is what we got. That's how we solve these problems. Now over here, archaeologists found whale bones at the coordinate. Over here, it's the same thing what we did just now. Over here, all you need to do is write the matrices. Now I'll just write that first, and then you need to write half and solve it up. It'll be 0, 3, 1, 4, 7, 1, 5, 9, 1. And then repeat this line over here, 0, 4, 5, and over here it is 3, 7, 9. And starting, you need to draw like these lines, and then from here you need to draw these. And then, left side minus the right side, solve it up, you'll get the answer, that is 2 meters squared. Now, what if it's Cramer's rule by 3 cross 3? See, it's not difficult, but it takes a long time. That's the only issue. I hope this problem doesn't come, 3 cross 3 doesn't come for your exam. Generally, it's very lengthy, so they won't ask it. But anyways, let's look into it. See, this is a matrix, right? This is the coefficient matrix divided by the determinant. Sorry, first you need to write the coefficient matrix. This is not the coefficient, I'll tell you in a minute. See, the 4, 5, minus 6, 3, minus 2, 7, 7, minus 6, minus 8. This is the coefficient matrix. Find the determinant of this, always it's divided. Now, in order to find x, instead of these values, you replace it with these solutions paths. So over here, this changes to minus 14, this one changes to 47, and this one changes to 15, and this is how you get the above over here term. And then you find the matrices, like I mean determinant. How do you find? You can repeat M, N, P, B, G, K, and draw lines like this, and they should match properly, and then you can easily solve it up. Here for y, just replace the y values with the other matrix. So this is how you get the answers. Now, if at all you have to do 3 cross 3, please remember the determinant. It'll be 3 cross 3. So write two more rows, draw the line, solve it up, and then whatever the coefficient matrix also determinant needs to be solved, and then divide the answers. You get the final answer. It's 5 comma minus 2 comma 4. Here you can even check the values over here, the check one. All you need to do is put the x values back into the equation y and z. All the three equations, put the values of the equation, and then both sides must match. Only if it is true values, both sides will match. Okay, this is to find Cramer's rule. We just now spoke about it. Please make sure you use that just now's method. Here you need to rearrange all the terms in terms of A, B, and C. If there is no C term, consider it to be 0. Here it will be 6 minus 7, 0, 2, 4 minus 3, minus 5 minus 3, 7. So that is one thing, and you get the answers. You can also use your calculator, modify 2 and solve them. But since they have clearly mentioned it's Cramer's rule, you need to make sure you use the Cramer's rule. Coefficient matrix, this matrix, and then solve it up. Here we have another problem. It is similar to the archaeologist problem. See, Marwan wants to build a triangular flower garden. To plan out his garden, he uses coordinate grid where each square represents 1 square meter. The coordinate of the vertices of his garden are given over here. Find the area. So now you can directly use the formula of half. Here it's minus 1, 7, 1, 2, 6, 1, 4, minus 3, 1. And you can easily solve it up. Also, if you're wondering, okay, this is the coordinate. Okay, you can find the sides by Pythagoras theorem, right? Now you have found all the sides, but there is a formula with the sides. So this is the formula. Now you can consider A to be anything, B to be anything, it will work. So just consider C, A one side, B on the side, and substitute everything, and you will get the area as well. So this is also possible. And for this particular problem, you just do the determinant method. It's easier and you get the answer. We now have an interesting problem here. A vendor sells small drink for $1.15, medium drink for $1.75, and a large drink for $2.25. During a week in which he sold twice as many small drinks as medium drinks, his sales were 2,238.75 for 1,385 drinks. Now here what have they told us? The total drinks were 1,385 in a week that were sold. So X plus Y plus Z, or you can take it as A, B, C, or say small drink S, M, and L, anything. So this is the first equation. Next one, the money is given, right? I can easily write 1.15x plus 1.75, that is 1.75y plus 2.25z. That is how much. The total money earned was 2238.75. Now lastly, they have told, see, now this is a 3 variable equation. You cannot solve without 3 variables. Lastly, they have told he sold twice as many small drinks as medium drinks. So if you're considering small drinks, it'll be 2 times medium drinks or 2 times y. Generally, students get confused with x is equal to 2y or 2x is equal to y. So let's look over here. He sold twice as many small drinks as medium drinks. So now consider small drinks, x. What is it equal to? There were 2 times small drinks as many as medium drinks. That means if medium drinks is y, 2 times y would be small drinks. So there were more small drinks than medium drinks. So 2 times y, 2 times medium drink would make small drinks. So this is the equation. And now here we can't write the last equation like this. We have to write x minus 2y plus 0z is equal to 0. Now we have 3 equations we can use. Cramer's rule and solve it up. So you can use over here, see these are the three equations. You need to rearrange the last one. And then if we solve this up, we get 650, medium as 325 and large as 410. Now the vendor decides to increase the price for small drinks to 1.25. Okay, so now from this 1.15 it became 1.25. Then what happened? The next week he sold 140 fewer small drinks. So initially it was how much? 650, right? It became less by 140. So this becomes 510 drinks in a week, not 650 anymore. But there was increase in medium drinks. See, 125 more drinks medium. So it'll be 450 drinks. And lastly, 35 more large drinks. So this became more by 35. So it's 445. So this is all the answers we got. And now calculate his sale for that week. So these are the new values of X, Y, and Z. Now we know how much is the cost. So this just multiplied by 1.25 plus this 450 multiplied by 1.75 plus 2.25 times 445. Add this all up. 510 multiplied by 1.25 plus 1.75 times 450 plus 2.25 times 445. So put this properly in the calculator. You can put this as it is, multiply plus everything, and then you will get this as the answer B. It will be 2426.25. Now if you compare really, though he got a loss in the small drinks because less were sold, his total revenue increased. So was raising the price of the small drink a good business move? Explain. Yes, it was a good business move because see now everyone were thinking, okay, now 1.25x, right? 1.25 for the small drink. Just by 50 fills you can get 1.75. So many moved towards the medium drink and he earned more revenue, to be honest. So it was a good move over here. Although small drinks were less sold, the other two were more and he got more profit. So that is the answer. We was just analyzing and solving. Same way, this is another problem. Badriya is preparing a colored frosting for a cake. For the right shade of purple, she needs 25 milliliters of 44% concentration food coloring. Okay, so 25 milliliters of 44%. Okay, the store has a 25% red and 50% blue concentration of food coloring. Now here, red coloring and blue coloring, you can take this as X and Y. So if we write 25% of X plus 50% of Y, okay, let's see what is it equal to. How many milliliters each of blue food coloring and red food coloring should be mixed to make the necessary amount of purple food coloring? See, they have already told us to get the right shading, 44% concentration is required. Now we have 25% of red and 50% of blue. When you add this up, first of all, how much is the total you need? You need 25 milliliters multiplied by what is the percentage? It should be 44%. Just multiply this, you'll get the answer. But there is one more thing. When you add X plus Y, what must be the answer? When you add it, you must get 25, right? They've clearly mentioned 25 milliliters. So these are the two equations. Let's quickly see them. So X plus Y is 25. Very easily mentioned. Why? Because when you add those both, this is what is required. But the other one is 25%, that's 0.25 X plus 50% Y will be 44% of 25, but I wrote 25 first, it's fine. Actually, 50% of Y, 44% of 25, that would be the answer. These are the two equations. Once the both equations are known, it is very easy to solve. You can use the Cramer's rule and solve it up. And to check your answers, you can use the calculator, simultaneous equations. I'll show you the calculator checking method. All you need to do is go to mode, equation is phi, and this is only two variables, so it's 1. Look, this resembles that form. And now type the coefficients. It's 1, 1, and equal to, what is it? 25. And over here we have 25%, and over here 50%. Shift and this symbol gives you the percent. And lastly, we have 25 times 44%. Just write it as it is, it will calculate it for you. The answer is 6 and 19. So use the Cramer's rule and solve all these problems and check your answers with the calculator. Okay, over here there is no solution. Let's look into this problem. If you use Cramer's rule, you get undefined answer. Why? Because looking at the equations, I can see the slopes are same and the y-intercepts are different. So if I write this in slope-intercept form, it's going to be y is equal to x plus 4, y is equal to x minus 4. All I did is take x to the other side. Slope is 1 and 1. So here the first equation, if I'm going to draw this at 4, I'll have 1. The line is like that. Another one is having minus 4, same slope. They are parallel lines. They will never touch each other. It's just that their intercepts are different. So you will never have an intersecting point. Only when lines intersect, that is the solution point. Now if you draw these two graphs, at this particular point, they are intersecting each other. That's the solution. So this doesn't have. And also you can try it from the matrix. I mean the determinant. Let's look over here. It's minus 1, 1, minus 1, 1. Let's find the matrix determinant. Sorry, I'm getting confused. It's minus 1 times 1 is minus 1, minus of, again, minus 1 times 1 is 1. So here what happens is it's negative 1 plus 1, 0. So whenever the determinant value is 0, what happens is it becomes undefined when you solve, because you have divided by, one determinant divided by the determinant of this, right? This is 0. When you divide anything by 0, it's undefined. So therefore, you need to remember, whenever you have a determinant of 0, there is no solution. You can't solve it up. That's the thing. All these problems do not have a determinant of 0, so you can solve the answer. So these are the answers. Here also, you can do the determinant is, 0, or you can also write it in slope-intercept form. It's y is equal to x plus 5. And over here it will be 2y is equal to 2x plus 8. But then divide throughout by 2, you're going to get y is equal to x plus 4. Now look at this. It's very, very close. If this is 5 and this is 4, they are very close, but they are parallel to each other. They will never touch each other. So that's how we solve those problems. Here there are plenty of same problems. Use the Cramer's rule and solve them up. And we are at the last type of problems. The diagram shows the annual percent migration between a city and its suburb. Now, city is obviously city where, lots of buildings, huge places, very busy places, okay? Whereas suburbs, it's not like the countryside. Country, far away, no. Suburbs is in between, So generally we have city, suburbs, and countryside, right? Suburb is between, it's like residential places or something like that. There is, crowd, but not like city and not like a village, where it's very less population, not like that. There is medium amount of population. So here you can see 95% are staying in the city, 3% from suburb move to city, and from 5% from the city they move to suburbs. And total 97% stay in the suburb. So the first question over here is write a matrix to represent the transition in city population and suburb population. Here, this is the matrix. How do you write it? See here. City. Let's first think of city and city. Now there is 95%, that is 0.95 in the city, right? But how much are going away, or coming in to city, all right, moving into the city? It's 3%, that's 0.03. Whereas, how much are moving away? It is 0.05. And this last column over here, will be for this. So you started with the city population, right? You ended with the suburb population. This is 0.97. So this is basically suburb details, suburbs. And this is basically 97% stay in the suburbs as of now. And over here they have given another type of problem, the same one, option B. There are currently 16,275 people living in the city and 70,552 living in the suburb. Assuming that the trend continues, predict the number of people who live in the suburb next year. If the migrating, the same thing continues, what's gonna be the values for next year? Now, from this matrix itself, if you just multiply it with what are the values? 16,275 live in the city. So the first one we are taken as city, right? Say 0.95. Over there, right? 16,275. And where is the suburb? It's 0.97. Over here, right? The other value. Just multiply them and you will get the answer. So when you multiply, you get 17,839 for suburb. So they just asked for suburbs. Next year, from how much it was currently, it was 17,552. There'll be 17,839 population. And lastly, you need to find the people who lived last year. That's from the inverse. So what you basically do is find the determinant of this matrix, and once you found the determinant, you need to write the inverse. So the inverse formula is like this. So imagine you have A, B, C, D, okay, as the matrix. So the inverse is found out by 1 by determinant of this particular matrix. So determinant is written over here, and whatever there was A, that swaps to B, D, sorry, B becomes A and A becomes D. They swap each other. And then the remaining two terms, they are same in their position. B becomes B only, but it's minus. And lastly, minus C. This is how we get the determinant. Now substitute over here, you will get the values and directly solve them up. Now, you need to put over here as 0.95 and everything, find the determinant. And then over here, whatever determinant you get, just multiply over here, they simplify. And over here, we are getting the answers as, you can see here, 16,587.16. So you approximated 16,587 and 70,240. We have all the answers over here noted. You can directly solve it by yourself and check for the answers. And this is again another similar problem. Please do try it by yourself, just like what we have done a while ago, and then check for the answers. A quick reminder, see this 88% and 35, they must be in one of the edges. So we, since it's 35 over here written, it's all about CDs at the beginning. Then digital players, switching to digital players, that is MP3 is at the corner end. So this is how it is. And then if you want to find, say after 1 year, just make this equal to whatever the answers you have, and then whatever the values are given. See over here, they have clearly mentioned 17,252 and 7,748. You need to just equate and multiply those matrices to solve. After multiplying, just refer the previous problem, and then you find the inverse over here clearly mentioned. So that is the end of the question 16. If you have any doubts, any questions, please post them in the comments. I'll try to get back to you very soon.